Alright, now I think it's safe to say that every decade has had their share of iconic toys. Like if you were a kid in the 1970s, you had like the pet rock and the old speak and spell that talks like the devil.
Hello, I am the devil. Spell the words murder.
Wait a minute, what?
I command you to kill the family dog.
And if you were a kid in the 1930s, all you had was like a hoop on a stick. Is this fun? I can't tell. I don't know, I haven't eaten in 3 days. Anything's fun at this point. But fortunately for me, I grew up in the 1990s, which I have to admit had some pretty cool toys. So for all you youngins out there that grew up playing Flappy Frog or whatever the fuck it was that you did on your iPad, I'm gonna go through 3 iconic toys from the 90s, and I'm gonna give them a letter grade that corresponds to how cool I thought they were. First up, Tamagotchis. Now, Tamagotchis took my second grade classroom by storm back in the day. And for those of you that are unaware, Tamagotchis were little digital pets that you'd take care of, and you'd feed, and if you were the weird kid in class, you'd probably fucking talk to it. You're my best friend in the whole world, Tamagotchi. I don't care if my dad says you're just a stupid keychain. And they were a huge hit back then. Every kid had one. And why wouldn't you? I mean, who wants to clean shit from a big-ass dog when you could clean up fake shit from a fake-ass dog? It makes sense. And it wasn't just dogs that they had to choose from. They had all sorts of animals. They had cats and turtles, a goddamn water buffalo, you name it. Now for me personally, I didn't have a Tamagotchi, but I did have a generic off-brand one that I won from a gumball machine. And my little fake animal was a dinosaur, or at least that's what it said it was. But that generic shit just looked like a fucking blob with a face on it. But regardless, I took care of that little blob with a face on it for weeks. And over time, it grew a tail, and then some legs, and a fucking goatee and shit. It was growing up right in front of my stupid little face. That is until one weekend, I rented the game Star Fox 64 from Blockbuster, and well, I played that shit for like 40 hours straight, which meant that my fake-ass dinosaur was left neglected the entire time. Hey, I took a shit over here. Can you come wipe me now? Anybody? No? Okay then. And it didn't dawn on me until I showed up to school the following Monday and seen all my classmates with their Tamagotchis. Dude, check it out, my water buffalo grew a mustache. What's your dinosaur look like now? My what? Oh, shit. Whoopsie. Sure as hell I got home that day. My fucking Tamagotchi looked like a crime scene in an episode of Law & Order. It's face down, dead as hell, surrounded by piles of its own shit. And that was pretty much the end of it. So I guess we'll give Tamagotchis a B, and we'll give it an A+ for the emotional trauma that it caused an entire generation of children. Next up, the Bop It. Now, the Bop It was a fun game. It was basically an electronic version of Simon Says. The game tells you what to do, and then you do it. Bop it. Okay. And you just keep going until your stupid little fourth grader brain gets overloaded and you screw up. Game over. You lose. Now, the only problem that I had with the Bop It was, well, I don't really know how else to say this, but, well, the thing looked like a fucking sex toy, didn't it? I can't be the only one that thought that, right? Hell, the first time my next-door neighbor Michael got one, we didn't know what the hell to make of the thing. I don't get it. Do I play with this thing, or do I just shove it up my asshole? Whoa, what the hell? Where'd you kids get that thing? God damn it, what did I tell you about messing around in your mother's dresser drawer? Get over here, you're gonna get 10 across the ass. Regardless, I still think the Bop It was a cool toy, even if it had some sexual overtones. Bop it. Pull it. Suck it. Wait, what? Game over. You lose. So I'm going to go ahead and give the Bop It a B- as a toy and a B+ for a sex toy. All right, moving on. Last but not least, we got the Furby. Now, the Furby was basically a three-dimensional version of the Tamagotchi, just a fucking stuffed animal that you're supposed to take care of. But Furbies had two main differences. One, they were annoying as hell, and two, they didn't fucking die. Now, these things were ugly as hell. I have no idea who the hell came up with the Furby, but I imagine it was some methed out guy in a board meeting like, all right, so what if we took like a Pokemon and then gave it Steve Buscemi's eyeballs and then we make it fart? Would you buy that? Oh, well, hell yeah, I'd buy that. I think I'd buy several. Now, personally, I didn't want anything to do with the Furbies when I was a kid. I mean, for one, I just didn't understand why anybody would want one in the first place. The thing just farts and talks bullshit to itself? My Uncle Rick already does that. What the hell do I need a Furby for? And for two, I thought they were creepy as hell. I mean, when they would talk in their own bullshit Furbish language all the time. Beep, bop, poo, poo. But eventually, they start to learn English, and then they just pepper it in here and there. Cheep, cheep, bee-boo, fucking chicken paprikash. What the hell, did that thing just say chicken paprikash? Oh my god, it's learning. Burn it. We have to burn it and bury the ashes. And the most horrific experience I ever had with a Furby was when I was staying over at my friend Tommy's house one night, and all of a sudden his Furby just starts yelling at us in the middle of the night. Party! Party! Whoop whoop! What the hell? Tommy, oh, shut your Furby up. It's trying to party with us. What, the thing we're in a fucking frat house, for Christ's sake? I look over, and Tommy's staring at this thing like it's a goddamn poltergeist, terrified as hell. Meanwhile, this goddamn thing keeps yelling party, party over and over again like it's on spring break in the Bahamas. So now I'm starting to freak out myself. I have to approach this Furby like a fucking hostage negotiator, because I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing. I don't know if it's broken or if it's possessed by a fucking speaking spell.
I am the devil. I command you to party with the Furby.
Tommy, quick, how do I turn this thing off?
I don't know, dude. Let's just ignore it and go back to sleep.
So since I can't find an off switch or take the batteries out without a screwdriver, I decide to shake the shit out of it and hope for the best. But of course there's no such thing as shaken Furby syndrome, so we're back to square one. Party, party! So now in a panic, I huck this goddamn thing into Tommy's closet, and for the rest of the night, we listen to this fucking Furby babble on and on and on.
Party, party, whoop whoop, chicken paprika.
Now what that Furby was doing in Tommy's closet, I have no idea. But I imagine it was partying all night long, doing shots of tequila with a G.I. Joe and a fucking Etch-a-Sketch. So I think it's safe to say that we're gonna have to give the old Furby a big fat F. Actually, let's give it 2 Fs, and those can stand for fuck Furbies. How about that? The end. Alright, I was a big fan of airsoft guns when I was a kid. If you don't know what an airsoft gun is, well, it's a plastic gun that kind of bridges the gap between a Nerf gun and a semi-automatic rifle. They shoot little plastic BBs, and after about a week, your whole house is littered with them. Your dad's dumping them out of the toaster, your sister's digging them out of her ass crack. You just go around shooting a bunch of holes in all the lampshades. And I was the first kid on my block to get an airsoft gun. Brought it out to show off to everybody. They're all mesmerized. I could conquer the whole goddamn world with this thing. My buddy David literally took it out of my hand, and he's like, "Oh, sweet, this is sweet." David, what the fuck? It was my turn to shoot Michael in the face. It was a bit of a trendsetter, I gotta say, because like a week later, every kid on the block had an airsoft gun. They didn't have a normal airsoft gun like I did. They had this fucking battery-powered M16 tactical shit, fully automatic, get shot in the face 30 times in 4 seconds. Hold on a damn minute. Jesus, I'm using this Stone Age piece of crap. My shit looks like a Happy Meal toy compared to yours. Michael's over there. Doesn't even have an airsoft gun. He's like shooting BBs through a fucking straw like it's a blowgun. He's wearing his puffy-ass winter coat in the middle of July, his body armor. There'd always be somebody out of ammo trying to call timeout. Wait a minute, timeout! Bitch, there ain't no timeout in airsoft! You get home with a bunch of red welts all over your body like somebody gave you a smallpox blanket. I eventually upgraded my arsenal, threw my handgun out, and purchased a big ol' sniper rifle. Thing's bigger than my entire body. Big ass scope on top of it like I was gonna assassinate a public official. Sure, it didn't shoot fast like the other ones, but that thing had some power. My friends hiding behind a car and shit, I just shoot through the fucking car. First weekend I got that rifle, shot my cousin in the back. The following weekend we had a closed casket funeral for him. Now, on one particular day, we were playing Capture the Flag. And it's important to note at this time, they didn't put the big ass orange tips on these guns like they do nowadays. Let you know it's a fake gun. No, they just dab a bit of orange nail polish on the end of that bitch, call it a day. And that kind of makes it a little hard for your neighbors to determine if you're outside playing or if you're committing an act of domestic terrorism.
Yeah, hi, 911. There's a child with a deer rifle and he's running amok in the streets.
So I'm sitting there at my base, which is David's front yard. I'm peeking through my scope like I'm about to put Lyndon B. Johnson into office. And I'm on the lookout for David. Now, where's David at? Well, David has ADHD, so he's not at his base, and he's not at my base. Hell, I don't even know if he even knew he was playing at the time. Probably forgot all about it, chasing a butterfly and shit. Now, David decides to walk to one of the busiest streets in the city and wave around what looks to be an automatic assault rifle in the air. Well, imagine David's surprise when about 4 seconds later, a goddamn paddy wagon pulls up in front of him. Bunch of cops pile out. They got their guns drawn on this completely oblivious, attention deficit child. Now, I wasn't there. I was around the block waiting to shoot David in the teeth with my Kennedy killer. But I bet that turd in his pants was massive. Well, it didn't take him long to figure out that David's gun wasn't real. Luckily, he wasn't massacred on the street right there and then. They load his ass in the back of the wagon, like the wild animal that he is, and they pull up to the front of his house. Now, I was there for this part, and I can say for sure that the turd in my pants was massive. One cop gets out and he's like, "Put that goddamn rifle down!" So I threw it like the gun was on fire. David comes out of the back of the truck looking like a shitty Dennis the Menace cartoon. "The hell do you think you kids are doing?"
We're just playing.
"Why is that kid wearing that puffy-ass coat? It's 94 degrees outside!" David's mom comes running out like they're filming an episode of Law and Order in her front yard. Instead of getting a chance to meet Ice-T, she's got to deal with this bullshit. Now, the cops were really cool about this whole shitty situation. They gave David's mom our arsenal of plastic weapons, and they're all like, "Well, we could have murdered your kid and got away with it, but, well, we didn't, so you're welcome. Why don't you give him a wiffle ball bat or some shit to play with instead? Jesus Christ. So the moral of the story is don't be a fucking idiot waving a weapon around in the street.